What's going on, everyone? You're listening to the Brazos Sports Prepscast. I'm Alex Miller with the Eagle. We're recording a special episode today because we have a new face to introduce. Over here, This is Jake Weese. He's our new high school sports reporter for the Eagle. So just wanted to record a little episode for our readers and whatnot to get to know Jake a little bit. So Jake, welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited. This is a special episode, so it makes me feel very welcome.
Well, we'll have more content coming soon for football season. But Jake, before we get into the grind of Texas high school football season, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you grew up, and where you went to school?
Yeah, so I'm from Huntsville, Alabama. It's a town up in North Alabama. I'm not going to bore y'all with all the details, but just kind of give a brief little background of Huntsville. If you've ever heard of it, it's actually where Space Camp is. So everyone sends their kids to Space Camp there. So if you ever have kids that want to go to Space Camp, that's where they go. But I moved to Huntsville actually before my sophomore year of high school, and I actually am from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I do have some background in Texas.
All right, and recent grad of a fellow SEC school. Is
that
right?
Not Alabama, Auburn actually, the other school in Alabama. So don't worry to all the Aggies out there. Auburn fans, we don't like Nick Saban as much as Jimbo doesn't like Nick Saban. So that's good for everyone out there. I feel like people might have been worried when I said Alabama there at the start, but Auburn guy, not Alabama.
All right. So growing up, did you play any sports, and did you have a favorite?
Yeah, I played soccer, and I also played basketball. Probably basketball out of the two was my favorite. That's the one I stuck with. After about middle school, I just started playing basketball full time. I guess played a little bit of football in middle school as well. So yeah, football, a little bit of football. Basketball was my main sport though, and then soccer as well.
So is Auburn a basketball school?
Yes, 100%. I would say that anyway. Basketball is the most exciting sport, I feel like, at Auburn to watch. So yeah, basketball, definitely a basketball school. Everybody loves Bruce Pearl too.
So, now you're here with us on our team. What really made you want to get into sports journalism and pursue a career in this field?
Yeah, something I've always been interested in. Growing up, like I said, I grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So growing up, we would always get the Star Telegram every morning, delivered to our house. Every day after school, I'd listen to the Randy Galloway show on the radio. Sports journalism was something I was always interested in. I was always a pretty good writer in school growing up. I like sports too, so it was kind of the perfect combination when I got to college.
Yeah. So when you were at Auburn, in school, what was kind of maybe some of your sports journalism experience coming before this?
Yeah. So in my high school, never had paper or anything like that, so I didn't get really start till I got to college. So pretty much right away, actually before even my first class in college, I joined the student paper at Auburn. It's called the Auburn Plainsman. I worked there for 3 years, kind of worked my way up. And then my last year, I interned at the Opelika Auburn News, my senior year, which is the local newspaper in the Auburn area. And I was a sports writer for them, or sports intern for them as well.
Awesome. What really excites you about covering high school sports here in Bryan College Station and in the Brazos Valley at large? And what have you kind of learned about the area and kind of the sports scene in the time that you've been here so far?
Yeah, well, like you said a little earlier, it's Texas. It's Texas high school football. It's Texas high school sports. This is one of the best places, I feel like, one of the best states to cover high school sports because, heck, Friday Night Lights, they made a whole TV show, a book, movie about it. So, kind of Texas, really just the whole state is just an area that everybody wants to cover. And, my older brother actually went to A&M. He graduated from there in 2018, so I'd been down here a couple times to see him, and I really like the area, so it just seemed kind of like a perfect fit.
Yeah, and so of course we have to mention food on this show because why not? Have you gotten to go to any places here locally that were like, all right, this is pretty solid?
Yeah, Casa Rod.
Okay.
Man, that place was really good.
What'd you get?
I got the, I think it was the El Grande platter.
Okay.
Or El Casa Grande platter. It was really good. It was pretty much just everything, like a little bit of everything. Tostada, tacos, enchiladas. It was really good. It's funny, actually, a friend of mine from Auburn, she's the Auburn men's basketball SID. when I put out my tweet, they just said, hey, I'm joining the Eagle as a new preps reporter. She replied, and she said, go to Casa Rod. And, I was really glad that she did that because that place was really good.
Got any other places on the list so far that you're like, all right, I got to get to this place too?
Honestly, I'm open for suggestions. If anyone has any, I'd like to hear them because I've driven by some places on my way to work or back from my apartment, and there's been some places that have looked good, but if there's anything I haven't seen yet, I'm all game. So if anyone has any suggestions, I'd love to hear them.
All right. Well, Jake, we're like a month out from really getting started into football season. How can people follow you on social media and find your work once the season rolls around for football and volleyball too?
Yeah, people can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is at the Jake Weese. That's at the @ TheJake, and then last name Weese, so WEESE. That's really where they can find me, is Twitter, and then obviously, at theeagle.com, once my stories start coming out. But yeah, those are the two places I feel like I'll tell people they can find me.
All right. Well, Jake, thanks for letting everybody just get to know you a little bit, and we're glad to have you on the team, and looking forward to high school football starting up soon. Hopefully it cools down a little bit.
Yeah, let's say that's been something I've had to adjust to, the heat, actually. Living in Alabama, I thought I'd be used to it, but those first couple of days, I was like, man, I got to get used to this again.
All right, well, be sure to check theeagle.com for all of our coverage of high school sports here locally and the Brazos Valley. We'll be back soon with the season rolling around. We got High School Football Media Day on the horizon. Get to talk with some local coaches and players. And, we're excited for another good season on the gridiron. So for Jake Weese, I'm Alex Miller. We'll see you next time.